You are not lazy, and I can prove it. Right now, you are watching this video, which means you care enough to try. Lazy people do not search for answers. You did. So the real question is not, why am I so lazy? The real question is, why can I not start? And that question has a real answer. An answer that came from a country that was completely destroyed and rebuilt itself. Japan. They discovered a rule so simple, it sounds fate, but it literally rebuilt their entire nation. And when you apply it to your own life, something weird happens. The laziness just stops. Not in a month, not in a year, in about 3 days. I know that sounds ridiculous, so let me explain exactly how this works. But first, you need to understand why you feel stuck in the first place. Because once you see the real reason, everything changes. Here's what everyone gets wrong about laziness. They think it is something you are born with, like your eye color. Some people are just lazy, and some people are not. That is completely false. Laziness is not who you are. It is what your brain does when it feels overwhelmed. Think about it like this. Your brain has a security guard inside it. This guard has one job: protect you from anything that feels dangerous. And here is the crazy part. Your brain cannot tell the difference between real danger and a hard task. A wild animal chasing you and a big project do next week look the same to your brain. Both trigger the same response. Freeze, do not move, stay safe, do nothing. That is what you have been calling laziness this whole time. It is not laziness. It is your brain trying to protect you. So every time you tell yourself, I need to work out for an hour, your brain panics. Every time you think, I need to finish this entire project, your brain shuts down. Every time you look at everything you need to change your brain size, nope, not today. Not because you are weak, because the task feels too big and your brain is scared. Now here is where Japan comes in. After the war, Japan was in ruins. Cities destroyed, people had nothing left. They needed to rebuild everything from zero. Most people would look at that and give up, but the Japanese did something nobody expected. Instead of trying to fix everything at once, they focused on one tiny thing. What is the smallest thing we can improve today? Not the biggest, not the most impressive, just the smallest. They called this idea Kaizen. Small good change, every single day. And here is what happened. Factories that used this method became the most successful in the world. Within decades, Japan became one of the most powerful countries on earth, all from tiny improvements stacked on top of each other. Now most people hear this and think, cool, but what does this have to do with my laziness? Everything. Remember that security guard in your brain. Kaizen sneaks right past it. Here is why. When you tell yourself, I'm going to work for 3 hours, your brain blocks you. But when you say, I am just going to do this for 1 minute, something different happens. Your brain does not even react. 1 minute is so small and so easy that your brain just lets it through. No resistance, no fear, nothing. You just start. And this is where it gets really interesting. Once you start, even for 60 seconds, your brain chemistry changes. Energy starts flowing through you. The smart part of your brain wakes up. Momentum kicks in, and suddenly, you do not want to stop. You told yourself 1 minute, but you end up doing 10, 20, sometimes a whole hour. Not because you forced yourself, because once the ball starts rolling, it wants to keep rolling. That is not motivation. That is just how things work. A ball sitting still stays still. A ball that is moving keeps moving. Your only job is to give it that tiny first push. And 1 minute is that push. Let me tell you what happened when I actually tried this. I had this project I had been avoiding for weeks. Every day I would look at it, feel terrible, and then grab my phone instead. The guilt was killing me, but I still could not start. Then I tried the 1 minute rule. Just 1 minute, then I can stop. Day 1, I sat down and set a timer for 60 seconds. I did the smallest possible thing on that project. The timer went off, but I did not stop. 45 minutes later, I was still working. I could not believe it. Day 2, same thing. 1 minute turned into over an hour. Day 3, I did not even need the timer. I just sat down and started naturally. My brain had learned something new. Starting does not hurt. The project I avoided for weeks was done in 3 days. And I did not use willpower, or discipline, or any fancy system. I just made the first step so tiny, my brain could not say no. Now here is what most people do wrong. They hear this and say that is too simple, it will not work. Then they go back to waiting for motivation that never comes. While they wait, the person who just started with 1 minute is already miles ahead. Simplicity is not weakness. Simplicity is the whole point. If the method were complicated, your brain would resist it too. So here's how you start today. Pick the one thing you have been avoiding. You know exactly what it is, the thing making you feel guilty every day. Now shrink it until it feels almost stupid. Cannot get yourself to exercise? Do 1 push-up. Cannot start writing? Write 1 sentence. Cannot put your phone down at night? Put it down 1 minute earlier. Your brain will say this is pointless. Ignore it, because here is what is really happening. Every time you show up for 1 minute, you are not just doing a task. You are changing who you are. You are becoming someone who starts, not someone who plans to start or thinks about starting. Someone who actually does it. And once that changes, everything changes. You stop needing motivation because the habit is stronger than the mood. You stop making excuses because the task is too small to need one. You stop calling yourself lazy because you have proof that you are not. Yesterday you showed up. Today you showed up. Tomorrow you will show up again. That is not lazy. That is unstoppable. And it all started with 60 seconds. The Japanese did not rebuild their country with some magical plan. They did it one small step at a time. You do not need a better plan or more motivation. You just need 1 minute and the courage to begin. The person you want to become is not far away. They are right where you are right now, waiting for you to take that first tiny step.